What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Mobile Max Car Audio channel. Today we're working on a 2006 Honda Civic. This is a commuter car, so we're not doing anything crazy. I'll show you. We're doing a double din radio, gunmetal gray. Then we have our easy to install Boss Elite. Great radio, great price point. Then we have our DIY combo. So if you are looking for the wire harnesses for your Civic, here we have our DIY combo for the Civic. And this harness you can really buy anywhere along with this one. This is the only unique one that we offer, which would basically just allow you to keep your steering wheel controls plug and play without having to wire tap them, and then your aux port. So if you have the premium sound system, it also has a remote turn on, so you would change this for the RCAs. But for this is what we're going to use. I'm going to get started on the car. Radio removal on the Civic is pretty easy, but I'll walk you through it. Alright guys, to get the panels off of this car, you're going to need a pretty good pry tool and a screwdriver. You have 3 screws that you need to get out. The first one's below here. So if you just you stick your pry tool in between this, you should be able to pop this down. There you go. And now your screw is right here. So you're just going to take your screw. So that's screw number 1. Put that in our little tin. Screw number 2 and 3 are below this pocket. So you're going to have to get this pocket out. And for this, you can use that same trim tool if it has a sleek edge, and just kind of shove it in there. So there you go. Folds down, and then you pull out. And now you have 2 8mm bolts that are up here. They're a little tricky. You kind of have to feel for them. I don't know if you can really see that, but they're 2 8mm bolts that are up there that we have to take out. You could also get them with a screwdriver, but you're going to need a rather short screwdriver that you can kind of fit and angle the right way. So I'm going to go get my 8mm and we'll go take these out. So what I found works best is a little 8mm like this on a swivel extension, so you have some flexibility. If you don't have that, then this screwdriver, something this big, will be able to jam in here and kind of work through it. But I'm going to use a little 8mm. I'm going to get these out. Here are my 2 8mm bolts. This is what they look like, and like I said, they have a Phillips head, or if not, it's an 8mm. So now that our 3 screws are out, we can start prying this thing away. Now, you want to be real careful when you pry on an older car, because you don't want to break any plastic. So usually I like to start with my hands if I can find a place to get my hands into, because I know how much pressure I'm putting my fingers and my hands. You can see it all start coming out. Now here's the only place I might use a pry tool. So if I can't get my fingers a certain area, you can push from the back of the radio also if you stick your hand underneath, and that should really you heard that, we lost the metal clip, but that's it. Now you're going to separate these here. So the way these separate is this bezel clips into this bezel, and they're just white plastic clips. So I'm going to see if I can get that on camera. Oh, man. So here are the clips I was talking about. They come off of this main unit, and then you can kind of separate them and just get this out. Be careful, you don't want to scratch this. This one's already a little scratched, but they've swapped this radio before with another factory radio. Alright, now that you got this out, there are a couple connectors back there that have to be disconnected. These all have tabs at the top, so you're just going to push the tab down and pull out like that. Then there's one more connection, which is for the climate control. Oh, actually, there's 3 more connections back here. So these 2 connections, and then your climate control connection. Now we're gonna take this whole panel. We're gonna have to take parts off of it, including these white clips, some of the screws, into our new panel. Right, so here's our dash kit. Taking parts. See, here's our pocket. We're not doing a single din radio, so we're not going to be using that pocket. And here are our mounting mechanisms. So first things first, we just want to compare the color of our new dash kit to our old dash kit. Make sure they are the right color. Usually every Civic is this gunmetal gray, but just want to be sure. So there it is. See, they're close enough. Now we have to transfer. So we're going to pop these knobs off. We're going to transfer this, got to transfer that, got to transfer that, and of course our pocket. So popping the knob off is real simple. You just use a screwdriver, come in the edge, and you start working it. It's hard with one hand, but let's see if I can do this. Pop the edges all around. There you go. Time for the other one. There you go, your knobs are off. The rest is just going to be screws. So you're going to want to take all these screws out. So I'll just try to show you the best way. So here, 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 here. And I would suggest putting the pocket last after you install the radio, because the pocket will get in the way of the new radio. Alright guys, so I got most of my stuff transferred. I'm going to pop these knobs back on. They have these little ridges, and you just want to line up the ridges. So the biggest one, you see that one has the biggest gap. You line up with the biggest gap, and then you just pop them on. They snap on like that. Make sure that when you screw your button, it still works. And then now we're going to install the radio and last the pocket. Alright guys, so we screwed everything down. We actually don't need to transfer clips. This dash kit comes with clips. Some do, some don't. So if you are using this exact dash kit, then the model number is right there. Alright guys, so our wiring is all done. I'm going to kind of explain to you what's going on here. So with our steering wheel control harness, we have gray to gray, red to our reds, and then black to our blacks. So it's a bunch of blacks going together and a couple of reds going together. There's a couple wires here we're not using. It's camera power, etc. And then everything else is color matching. So it's pretty standard. You're going to go blue, white to blue, white, blue to blue. And then all your speaker colors are, you know, a pair of green, a pair of purple, a pair of grays, etc. The rest is color match. It's pretty simple. But if you want to avoid this, you want like solid connections, soldered, and heat shrink, then you can buy the complete harness from us. It goes by the radio specific. So whatever radio you need, we'll come up with the connector. We carry the most common ones, but if for some reason you have some odd radio, then you're gonna have to wire it yourself. The only thing I didn't do, which I should have done, is plug this in to our harness here. So something I want to clarify is this harness has the steering wheel control inputs and outputs, but you still need a steering wheel control interface. We always use the access piece because it is self-programming. So basically this gives you the outlets to hook up this connector, and then this connector plugs into the AXSWC one, and then this is what makes your steering wheel controls work. Alright guys, so we got everything plugged up. As you can see, all our plugs match up except for this one. This is the XM connection. You will not need that. You'll only use these three plugs. You can see our AXSWC one. It's going to do a bunch of flashes, and then the steering wheel control should just auto work. So you can see it's doing its flashing. Found the radio. Our radio kicked on. Now it's still flashing. It should go solid red in a second. Now our steering wheel control should work. So we'll hit agree, go to tuner. There you go. It auto programmed, so we are all set. Now it's a matter of just putting everything back together. Alright guys, so there you have it. The radio is all in. What I love about this radio is the microphone's built in. You have USB and aux right here, so there's no need to run any extra wires. It's very simple to install. No need to run a microphone or anything. Everything's right there in the radio. So once you get wired up and in place, you're all set. But alright guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope it was informative. I hope you got some value out of it. As always, I'm gonna ask that you like, subscribe. We always have content for different cars, different tips and tricks to help you out with your installs. Or if maybe you're trying to figure out, you know, what is involved in installing and make a decision if you're going to bring it to a shop or if you're going to do it yourself, then this kind of helped you out.